Hello there, welcome. So this is an exciting video for me because this marks the rebrand of my channel. So this was originally going to be a commentary channel, but I have now decided that I'm going to be turning it into basically a true crime channel. So yeah, and I might do other little stories here and there, but it's mostly going to be focusing on the true crime element of things. I've been interested in true crime for a really long time, and I'm always watching it myself on YouTube, and I've always thought about doing my own sort of channel, but then I never got around to doing it. So here I am now as a little project that I want to do. So yeah, today I am going to be talking about the case of Dr. Thomas J Hicks. So if you haven't heard of this man, then I'm about to tell you what he did, and by the title you kind of already know anyway. So let's get into the case. In the 1950s and 60s, in the city of McCaysville, Georgia, there was an undercover black market that illegally sold over 200 newborn babies. But there is thought to be many more than that. The operation was ran by a man of the name of Dr. Thomas J Hicks, who was a doctor in the city who performed illegal abortions, and he actually gave up his medical license in 1964 after he was indicted on illegal abortion charges. So he was caught performing these abortions and he lost his license and the clinic was shut down. In the early 50s, he advertised his illegal abortion and adoption services on phone booths, bus stations and bridges. He actually ran not only an abortion service, but an illegal adoption service. And he persuaded some of the women that actually came to him for abortions to have the babies so that he could sell them to these adoptive parents that came from out of state. So they all came from different states, and the most popular state that he sold to was Ohio. He usually sold a baby for around $1,000, which in today's value is about $11,000. So that's kind of crazy. And most of these people that were illegally adopting these babies, it was because they couldn't legally adopt because they didn't actually meet the criteria. So they couldn't have children of their own, and they also couldn't legally adopt through the correct system. He lied to these women that gave birth to the babies, and he said to many of them that the baby had died during birth, despite some of the women claiming that they could actually hear their baby cry, but he said, oh no, you must be hearing things or something. So he made them believe that their babies died, and instead he was selling the baby out the back of the clinic, and then he would forge birth certificates for the adoptive parents so that it looked like they were actually the real biological parents. Now, this operation only actually came to light in the year of 1997, 25 years after Dr. Hicks had died from leukemia at age 83. So therefore he was not there to atone for his crimes or anything like that. Some of the babies were able to locate their biological families, but many of their parents had passed away before they had even got the chance to meet them. Some parents also just refused to meet their biological children, which is very sad. Jane Blasio, one of the babies that was sold, is the lead investigator into the Dr. Hicks operation. She was the one that actually uncovered all of this when she discovered that she was adopted at age 6, and she blew open the whole operation. Nobody had any idea that this was going on unless, they were the ones who were actually involved in it, of course. And she spent her whole life investigating ever since she was aware that she was adopted. Her parents came from Akron, Ohio to McCaysville to collect her and paid $1,000. Jane's biological mother believed that she had died. Jane had been investigating for around 15 years on her own before discovering there were many other black market babies in Akron, and she's devoted much of her time to helping these babies uncover their biological roots. Of course, they're definitely not babies now. They are all getting on a little bit because they were born in the 50s and 60s, so think, what age are they going to be now? It was also discovered that many of the babies had really low birth weights around about 4 to 5 pounds usually, when a healthy full-term baby should actually weigh around 6 to 9 pounds. Any baby weighing less than 5 pounds is considered a low birth weight, which can lead to many serious health problems. The reason for the babies being such a low weight was due to the fact that Hicks was inducing many of these mothers at earlier stages of pregnancy around 32 weeks, when a normal full-term pregnancy is around 40 weeks. And normally they won't even induce you till around maybe I think the cutoff is around 36 weeks. So this was very, very dangerous and put both the babies and the mothers at risk. And due to this, it is actually believed that a lot of babies didn't survive due to complications from premature birth. And this could be due to breathing difficulties because the lungs are really immature at this stage. The theory of why he did this could be that there was such a high demand for babies that he wanted to get them born as soon as possible to reduce the weight, which is just horrifying to think of, that he's putting them in that much danger because he wants to get them all out. He wants to get out those babies as soon as possible. It's just horrible to think about. Some people believe that there could have been records that Hicks took to the grave with him, but these have never been found. The police searched the crypt which he was buried next to, but claimed that it was empty. Some believe there could have been a cover-up and that these records do exist somewhere, but we will likely never know. There is still a lot of mystery surrounding this case, and many McCaysville inhabitants don't really want to talk about it, or they believe that Hicks was a good doctor and he had good intentions with his illegal operations. A lot of them actually praise him as a doctor and say that, you know, he was saving these babies and he was giving them a chance at life, which some of the babies, of course, they are happy that they were born instead of being aborted, but it's almost like he was playing God in a way, and he caused a lot of chaos in these people's lives, and the fact that a lot of them didn't even get to meet their biological families is just so devastating for a lot of them, and it's just awful to think about that they never knew who their parents were, and a lot of families didn't even know that they were alive. They thought they had died. It's just horrible. Sally Sompeirak, sorry if I pronounced that wrong, I'm not sure how to actually say it, who was Dr. Hicks's granddaughter, also wanted to search for answers about her grandfather and help the Hicks babies in any way that she could. Hicks babies is like the nickname that was given to any of the babies that were born in his clinic and adopted. She ended up exhuming her adoptive dad's body, who was Thomas Hicks Jr., the son of Dr. Hicks. She believed that he was possibly her biological father rather than her adoptive one, which he wasn't, and also in hopes to provide answers to those who thought they might be a child of Hicks Sr. It is believed that Dr. Hicks had many illegitimate children and that he also may have sold those to adoptive parents. This has still not been uncovered though. There's still no real confirmation of this, whether any of them are related to him or not. But I discovered a lot of this information from a documentary series that I watched on the matter, which was called Taken at Birth, and I watched it on Discovery Plus. It originally aired on TLC, I believe, and it was very, very insightful, and I took a lot of my information from that. I also took some information from articles around the internet, so this was all my own script that I wrote out, so I hope that it sufficed. This is like my first time doing a proper true crime video. I know actually I did do one before on the case of, I think, Susan Munchausen, like, on this channel, but I've just got rid of all my videos on here so I can start fresh. And yeah, so if you're interested in watching it, I know it was also on Hulu, but I'm in the UK and I have Discovery Plus and that's where I watched it. But yeah, it was very insightful to watch, and in it you can see a lot of the Hicks babies and them being reunited with members of their family that they had found, and it's quite touching and emotional and sort of had me almost crying. And Jane Blasio is the main sort of presenter. She's sort of presenting it and in charge of the whole thing, and it also has the people from Long Lost Family in it that is helping them along to reunite. And yeah, it's a good series. There's like 6 episodes that were an hour long each, and I was inspired to do this video from that, and just because I've really been wanting to do something like this for a while, but I've never really had like given myself the push to do it. So yeah, I'll end with my final thoughts on the case. I suppose I'll do this as like a regular thing in my videos, my final thoughts. I actually thought that it would end up being a lot longer than this. Like, I don't know, my script was like 650 words, and I'm like, how long of a video is that going to make it? And I know I'm just rambling at this point, but anyway, my final thoughts is that I think what he did was extremely unethical. Not only was it illegal, but, you know, persuading the mothers who wanted to have abortions to have the baby so that he could sell them, like, so he could make a quick buck. I honestly think that that's absolutely awful, and I definitely don't agree with the people that said, oh, you know, he just wanted to give these babies a chance at life. But that's not his place to do that, and to sell a baby out of backdoor operation, and then them to have absolutely no idea who their biological family is. I think, like, it's already hard enough for children that are adopted to cope with the fact that their biological parents gave them up, but when there's no record of who they even are, that's even worse and will cause way more emotional havoc. So a lot of them have been dealing with their own issues and their own demons because of this. A lot of them obviously are happy that they did get the chance at life, but living with all these questions and all this mystery surrounding who they are and where they came from, I think is just, it's not a nice thing to live with. So I believe he was a bad man. But yeah, I mean, that's gonna do it for this. If you guys enjoyed it, then let me know, and if you have any suggestions for any future cases, I mean, I'm sure I'm not short of things I can talk about anyway, because I'm watching stuff all the time. I'm always watching documentaries, and I'm always reading up on things, so I can hopefully get another one out soon for you. And yeah, I hope you liked it. I hope that you will enjoy my new channel, and I will see you again soon. Bye!